Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully updated our group. That means right now I have added all that our route group into the another group as a middleware auth. Okay, so here we successfully updated that part. So right now in this video I want to start our another section as a employee management section. Into the employee management, first of all let's start it with the employee registration. Okay, so we have successfully already complete that student registration. So right now I also want to add another module for the employee management, and with the employee management our employee registration will be also needed. So for doing this, first of all I want to add that is our project. Into the project area I want to create another menu. I want to create another menu as a employee management. Okay, so that will be in our sidebar. Now go to our sidebar. If you go right now, we don't need this. And now if you go to your the resources, into the resources there is a view, and there is an admin. Into the admin there is a body, and then our sidebar. So into the sidebar right now I want to copy another one. So that is our setups, and that is our students, right? So that is our students. So better I copy it. I copy total things, that is a li. I copy total li from to this position, and then after that I paste it. So that will be our another one. That will be not that is student, that will be as an employee. Okay, that will be as an employee management. So into the employee management right now I want to take only one. Okay, one URL. So later step by step we will add everything. That means first of all our registration will be as an employee registration. And also I want to update our prefix. Our prefix will be as a employees or whatever you choose. So now I name it as employees. Okay, that will be as employees. So this type of one of the prefix I want to create. So that will be our name, and that will be our menu. So our menu name, I name it as a employee registration. Right friend, I hope it's very much clear to you. So now we have to create this prefix. Now go to our web. So into the web, that is our user, that is a user prefix, that is our profile prefix, right? Better I copy it. I copy that profile prefix. I copy it, and now to the end. So they have so many routes. So after this, okay, after this I want to create another one. I simply paste it. So right now we don't need this. I remove everything from here. Okay, I remove it, and I name that prefix. Our prefix will be here. I name this prefix, that will be as an employee, right? So that will be as an employee. That means whenever that now you actually want to access this route, automatically when it will be get that as employees, then our this class, that means our theme in our sidebar class will be activate, right? So here I just simply updated that part. So that is our employees, and that is our group function, and then that is our one of the get method. So right now first work is we have to create one of the URL. Our URL right now I want to change that name as an employee. Okay, I name it as an employee registration view. So this type of one of the employee registration view I want to create. Now I copy it and then go to our web route. So that will be our name. Our name will be as an employee registration view, and here I name it as a registration. Okay, registration / employee and then view. So this type of one of that will be our URL, that will be one of the get method. And also for our employee I want to create another controller. So if I want to actually segment everything one by one, like if you go to our HTTP controller, so for the student related everything I have created into the student folder. So right now for employee I want to create another folder into the backend folder. I want to create another folder, and I just name it as an employee. Okay, employee. So this type of one of the folder I want to create. Okay, so that will be one of the employee folder. So into this employee folder, employee related every controller I want to create on here. Okay, so first of all I want to create one of the controller, and I just want to name it as a employee registration or regist controller. So this type of one of the controller I want to create. So if you want to create it, what exactly you have to do? You have to go to your project. So that is our project, and here I open as a CMD. I think at that point you already know how can create that controller. So I name it as a PHP artisan make controller, and then in our backend, into the backend I have created also another folder. I have created another folder as an employee, right? So into the employee folder I want to create this controller. So that will be as an employee, and into the employee folder I want to create one of the controller as an employee registration controller. Okay, so now click as enter. Yeah, our controller created successfully. So now if you go to our employee, into the employee, you can see that is our controller. So our first work is we have to support it. That means we have to update our name path. So if you go to web route, into the web route, so here after this, better I copy it, and then I want to use another one. So that is into the backend folder. Into the backend area I have created another folder as an employee. So that is our employee folder, and into the employee folder I have created one of the controller as the employee registration controller. So now I want to support it. Okay, perfect. And then here we have to use it. So that is actually our employee registration controller, and into the employee registration controller I want to create one of the method. I want to create one of the method name as a employee. Okay, employee view. So this type of one of the method I want to create. That will be as the employee view. So friend, that will be actually just like our, if you go to the student, into the student registration controller. So right now I want to copy something from here. So first work is we have to actually load all that our model. So better I want to support all that model as a assign student model user. So which things will be needed, everything I want to add it on here. So right now I copy it, and now in our employee here I simply support it. Okay, and now I want to get all the data from our user, because I have already add some of the field. If you go to our database, into the database, if you go to that user table, and into the user table, better if you go to that structure, and here you can see I have already added the data type, name, the email, and also I added the joining date. So that is joining date will be for our employee, that is a designation ID, and that is a salary and the status, right? So here I have already add some of the field. So this will in our user table here I want to actually create a multiple user. One will be as an admin user, one other will be as a student user. You can see I have already created a lot of the student, and also I need now to create another user as an employee. Okay friend, so if you want to do that work here into the same table, I want to add it. And also I have already created another designation, right? If you go to our setup management, you can see into the setup management I have already created that designation. As I told you friend, everything actually interconnected, right? So right now this the designation will be related, that means interconnected with our employee. Okay, so right now that will be also needed. So here first of all I want to also create another table. I want to create another table for the employee salary logged. Okay, that means that is our user. Into the user, when actually employee will be created, I want to create another table. I show you, everything will be very clear to you why I'm actually using it. So that is a salary. Into the salary area we have to actually add that present salary or the incremented salary or the previous salary. Okay, so we have to actually manage it. So for the reasons here I want to create another table, and also we need another model. So first of all I want to do that work. So for doing this, that is our project. So for doing this I want to open our appropriate location, that is our CMD. First of all I want to name it as a PHP artisan, and then make model. Okay, I want to create one of the make model, and I name that model will be as a employee salary. Okay, salary log. So this type of one of the name I want to create, that will be our model. Okay, employee salary log. And also I want to migrate one of the table. So that will be our migration table. Okay friend, now I just click as enter, and you can see our model is now successfully created, and then migration is now successfully created. So that is the two of this model I want to support in our this controller, that means in our employee registration controller. So after this I want to use, better I copy it, because every model I have created into particular this same folder. If you go to our models, into the models, I need that as a designation. That means for the designation, you can see that is a designation.php. So right now I want to support this model, that is a designation will be needed. And also I have created another new one. I have created another one as a right now, that is our employee. So employee salary log, right? So that this model, that means this model also be needed. So I copy it, and here I want to update this part. So that is a model as a designation, and then our employee salary log. Perfect. So now I want to create that some of the field for our this employee salary, because I have also created another migration table, right? So that is our migrations table. So now go to our database. Right now that is our database. Into the database, go to the migration, and to the migration, that is our migration new table, and there is a migration new table as a employee salary logs. So here I want to add some of the field. So I simply add some of the field. First work, I want to add one of the field as a employee ID. So that will be one of the foreign key of our user ID. Okay, so now I name it as a employee underscore IDs, and better I want to put some of the note for you. That means I put some of the comment. Okay, I put some of the comment, and into this area that will be as a employee ID. That means this employee ID will be actually our user table ID. Okay, that means the user table and user ID. Okay, so that will be helpful to you. I hope you understand that part. That means this employee salary log table, that will be one of the field as a employee ID. So this employee ID field will be foreign key of our this user table ID. Okay, so that is the things I want to add, and also that will be obviously as an integer. I make it as an integer, and then I want to take another field. I want to take another field for the salary as a previous salary, present salary, or the when this salary will be incremented. So for the reasons I want to also add that incremented salary. Okay, so I name it as a previous underscore salary. So that will be as a previous salary, and then I want to add another one for the present salary underscore salary, present salary, and then I want to take another one as the increment salary, increment underscore salary. Okay, and also I want to add another one as a when this salary will be effected. Okay, so for the reasons I want to take another field. I take another field as effected underscore salary. Okay, effected underscore salary, and also I want to make every field as a nullable, then it will be better. Every field will be as a nullable. Okay, that means our previous salary will be nullable, our present salary will be nullable, and also increment salary and effected salary. Every field I want to make it as a nullable, and that will be as an integer. Primary previous salary also will be as an integer. Present salary I make it as integer value, that is integer, and effected salary here that will be one of the date format, so better I make it as a date. Okay, because here I want to actually apply some of the date, so that will be as a date format as effected salary, nullable. Perfect. So friend, that's all for our employee salary log, and with this we will manage employee salary every log. Okay, so perfect. So it's now good. Now I just click as a save all. And after that, what exactly you have to do? You have to migrate it, right? So now I want to simply migrate this. So after that, that will be as a PHP artisan make migration. So that will be as a PHP artisan make migrate. Now click as a enter. So you can see that's PHP artisan migrate. I am actually using that make. So that will be as a only PHP artisan migrate, right? Now click as enter. You can see our migration table is successfully created. Now if you go to your database, into the database, if you now go our school database, and here I have created new one as employee salary log. You can see there is an employee ID, the previous salary, present salary, incremented salary, and then effected salary. So here I want to do when you actually create any employee, that means when you register any employee, some of the data will be inserted into the user table, some of the data will be inserted in our this employee salary log table. Okay, so here I want to do that work. First of all, here I also created one of the, right now we don't need this, I remove it. So that is our web. Into the web area, I have created one of the method as an employee view method. So into the employee view method, I only want to do and to view one of the page, right? So now I copy it, and in our employee registration, into the employee registration area, so that will be one of the first method. So now I want to do and to create this method. I think you already know, that is our public, and then function, and then our method name. method name I have created as employee view. So into the employee view, first of all I want to get all that our data. Okay, so first of all I want to get this data from our user table. So better I take one of the variable as a name it with the data array, and I just name it as a all data, and then I want to use that our user model, and with this user model I want to put on the condition where which data you want to take. I want to take as I told you, when I insert some of the data into the user, before I have insert it, if you go to our user, if you go to that user, into the user, that is our admin, some of the data type as a student, right? So right now I want to get all that our user type employee data. You can see I have also put some of the comments. Our user type will be as a student, or user type will be as an employee, or rather than the admin, right? So all that employee related data I want to take. So for the reasons I take one of the condition, that means our this user type will be, when this user type will be as an employee, I want to get this data. Right, friend? I hope it's very much clear to you. So I only want to put this condition when our user table, our one of the field as a user type. Okay, when our user type, when this user type will be as an employee. Okay, when this will be as an employee, then I want to get this data. I hope it's very much clear to you, friend. And after that, I want to load one of the return page. That means the return one of the view page, and with the return view page, same into the backend. Okay, into the backend I want to create one of the folder. Okay, so if you go to our backend, that is our backend. Into the backend for the student I have created as a student everything. So right now for the employee I want to also create another folder. I want to create another folder as employee folder, and with the employee folder I want to create another folder as employee registration underscore registration or res. Okay, and then I want to create another view file that for the employee underscore view. So that will be our file. Perfect. And then I have to pass this data. That means I get that our variable and take the things with this data. So right now I simply pass it all the data. That means it should be check it in our user table, into the user type field. Into the user type field, if we get any employee, that means this type of one of the name, then it should be get this data and take the things with this variable. And here I want to visible it in our this employee view page, right? So now into the backend folder I want to create another folder. So into the backend I want to actually organize it as much as I can. So that is our employee folder. Into the employee folder I want to create another folder as an employee registration. Okay, so that is our employee folder. I want to create another one as an employee registration. So into the employee registration folder I want to create another file that will be as an employee view. So I copy it and now click as a new file, and now click as a save as, and name it as an employee view.blade.php. Okay, friend, so that's all you have to do. Okay, so now we have to actually design our this employee view page. So what I want to continue this process. In our next video I will design our employee view page. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.